All right, tonight we're diving into a story that is seriously chilling. It comes from a truck driver named Salim, and it's about what happened during what should have been just another routine delivery on the remote coastal roads of Sindh. But what he encountered that night was, well, it was something else entirely. Let's get right into it.
Now, that's a warning that comes straight from the man who actually lived through this. He's very clear. This isn't just some campfire tale. It's an experience that really makes you think twice about what's out there on those dark, empty roads. So, yeah, maybe turn on a light.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Our main guy is Salim, a truck driver with more than a decade on the road. He's got his young helper, Nazir, with him, and they're driving his trusty old Bedford truck. They've got a load of goods from Karachi, and they're supposed to deliver it late at night to this super remote house near Keti Benadar, right where the land kind of disappears into the sea.
And get this, the delivery instructions, they were about as vague as you can possibly get. All they were told was, old house, last turn. That's it. No real address, no landmark, nothing. So here they are, driving into the middle of the night, flanked by these dark, spooky mangrove forests, with only those 3 words to guide them.
So they're driving deeper and deeper into this darkness when suddenly a figure just appears on the side of the road trying to flag them down for a ride. Salim's gut is screaming that this is a bad idea, but, against his better judgment, he pulls over.
The second this guy gets into the cab, the whole vibe just goes wrong. His clothes are weirdly damp, almost like he just walked out of the ocean. It's too dark to see his face clearly. But the absolute shocker, when Salim asks him where he's headed, the guy quietly says he's going to their exact same super vague destination, the old house at the last turn.
Feeling a little rattled, Salim and Nazir decide to pull over at one of those tiny roadside tea stalls. Just to take a quick break. They're gone for maybe 5-7 minutes tops. They come back, open the truck door, and the cabin's empty. Their passenger is just gone.
I mean, seriously, where could he have gone? They grab a flashlight, they look all around the truck. Nothing. Nobody. And here's the really weird part. The only footprints they can find in the mud are the ones the man made when he walked to the truck. There were absolutely no tracks leading away. It was like he literally vanished into thin air.
So even though they're completely freaked out, they've got a job to do. They press on and finally find this old, run-down house. It's dark, silent, creepy. They honk the horn, they shout, but nobody comes out. They have no choice but to park the truck and just wait for morning.
So as they're getting ready to settle in for a long night, this old man from the village just kind of appears out of the darkness. He doesn't offer to help, he offers a warning. He points to the house and the mangroves and tells them not to unload anything. He says the wind plays tricks on you out there. His advice? Sleep in your truck. Talk in the morning.
And then, the night of terror really begins. It's sometime after 1 a.m., and it starts with this soft, gentle knock on the cabin door. Just tap, tap. Then silence. Salim figures it's just a local and tells Nazir to be quiet, but nobody says a word.
After the knocking stops, the silence is broken by another sound. Footsteps. Soft footsteps, slowly and deliberately walking in circles around their truck in the pitch black. Salim risks a peek out the window, but he can't see a single thing.
And if that wasn't creepy enough, the sound moves up. A light, steady tapping starts right on the roof of their cabin, directly above their heads. Now, Salim knows this is impossible. He parked in a wide open space. There are no trees, no branches anywhere near the truck that could be making that sound.
At this point, poor Nazir has had it. He is absolutely terrified. The knocking, the footsteps, and now this impossible tapping on the roof, it's just too much. He grabs Salim's arm, begging him, "For God's sake, drive, let's just get out of here." And then comes the moment that I think is the most terrifying part of this whole night. As they're both sitting there, frozen in fear, a small patch of fog slowly forms on the driver's side window. It looks exactly like someone is right outside, pressing their mouth against the glass and breathing on it. Salim whips his flashlight over to the window, and there's nothing there.
Somehow, they make it through the night. All those terrifying sounds, they just stop, right as the first light of dawn starts to break. Exhausted and still completely on edge, Salim and Nazir finally get up the nerve to step outside.
But what they find outside the truck is just chilling. The ground all around them is covered in footprints. And I don't mean just a few. We're talking countless tracks. Like someone spent the entire night just circling and circling their truck. and every single track leads away from the truck and towards that old house.
Right then, the door of the house finally opens, and a man walks out. Salim is furious, right? He's tired, he's scared, and he confronts the guy. But the homeowner is just cold, indifferent, no apology, nothing. And then he says something really strange. He tells them to just leave all the cargo on the porch and that they can't bring anything inside.
As they're unloading the very last box, Salim spots something that makes his blood run cold. In a corner of the porch, there's a piece of damp cloth. It looks identical to the one their mysterious passenger was wearing. So he asks the homeowner, "Hey, did you have a visitor last night?" And the man's answer is just haunting. He just says, "No one comes here at night."
So they get paid, they get dismissed, and they get out of there as fast as they can. But here's the thing. Just because they left the house doesn't mean the fear was left behind. Oh no. Turns out this whole ordeal wasn't over yet.
As they're driving away on that same desolate road, Nazir glances in the rearview mirror and his face goes pale. He tells Salim to look, and there, in the distance, standing right at the edge of the mangrove forest, is a figure. It's the same man, same damp clothes. Salim slams on the gas, and when he dares to look back again a few moments later, the figure is gone.
Miles and miles down the road, they finally stop for tea, just trying to process what happened. Salim casually mentions to the guy running the hotel that they'd just come from Katie Bundar. The owner's whole expression changes. He leans in close and gives them this bone-chilling warning. He says, if someone knocks on your truck door at night out there, don't answer.
Okay, so let's just connect the dots here, right? We have the hitchhiker who was soaking wet and then just vanished. We have the footprints that lead to the truck, but not away. There's the identical cloth on the homeowner's porch, the endless footprints circling the truck all night. But there's one final terrifying piece of evidence that they only discovered later.
Because when Salim gets all the way back to Karachi, back to what he thought was safety, he reaches under the passenger seat in his locked cabin to grab something, and his hand touches it, another piece of that same damp cloth, still wet, hidden right there under the seat where the man had been sitting. It was the one piece of undeniable proof that whatever was out there had also been inside the truck with them.
You know, Salim's final thought on all this really sticks with you. He never did figure out who or what he and Nazir met that night. But that experience, it just left a permanent scar. It's a haunting reminder that some journeys don't just take you from one place to another. They carve a line of fear right into your soul. So what do you think they really encountered on that dark coastal road?